What's up, guys? Rashad coming at you here with another video. Actually really excited about this one. We're going to be installing the paddle shift kit for my Gen 1 Raptor. This comes at you from Frostbite Fabrication, and shout out to my buddy Luke Gerard. He's actually the one that set this kit up, that made it all possible. I actually got the painted levers, or paddles rather, instead of the anodized, and I think the painted actually looks really good. Luke's been great through the whole process, and he did a great video himself on how to set this up. I'm going to do my own just to give him some more, maybe something to share with customers. You know, hopefully this will help if you're installing them. I mean, I have no idea how hard or how easy this is going to be. I did watch his video a few times. He makes it look pretty easy. I know he's had this truck apart a number of times, so this is my first time diving into this. It should be fun. I actually, if we want to walk out of the truck quick, I actually had some issues. You can see there's cat litter all over the floor because we've had some issues with the transmission on this truck. Turns out it was actually valve body related, so it wasn't, you know, hard parts from what I can tell, which is good. We've changed the fluid about 2.5 times now. Probably gonna do it one more, but just to give you a quick view on it, what we're gonna be looking at here. Basically these paddles are gonna go right here on either side, and instead of just having the up down on the shift lever, I'm actually gonna have the up down up here, which is great for off-road, because if you use manual mode on these trucks, it tends to slip in and out of drive, and it really throws you off, because once you get back into manual mode, you can move that shift lever without any external buttons being pushed. So this should be really good. I'm super excited about it. I'm also having some transmission shifting relearning happening, so I think this is going to really improve the off-road capabilities. I'm going to shift it myself when we go off-road this weekend. So yeah, so shout out to Savage Off-Road. We're going to be heading to Roush Creek Saturday and doing some fun stuff with these guys. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so first thing, I'm just going to go over the part list here. So we've got the left paddle, we've got the right paddle, and these are actually really good quality. You can kind of see how it's going to click. I did opt for the larger ones. These are slightly larger. I figured that'd be a little bit easier when you're flying off-road to find. Some quality wiring. We've got some pin connectors here that kind of show, you know, he spent time to figure out what pin goes where. Did a great job there. So we've also got some hardware, some bolts. I know there's lag bolts that go into these guys to mount them onto the wheel. The steering wheel is going to come off the truck. Super nerve-wracking, but I've done suspension mods in this truck, so the steering wheel should be pretty easy, you know, on a scale of 1 to full send. So that's what we've got, and let's dive in. First thing I'm going to do, so this actually isn't in the directions, and hopefully this camera's lining up correctly. I actually have to remove this carefully. This is actually aftermarket, and I love this thing, this little molly panel, I guess you call it. Very useful bit of kit here, and I'm going to actually fully remove this just to get to these screws. I don't have to take the whole thing off, but just to make my life easier, I think I'm going to. This upper panel has to completely come off, so that's going to mean these screws have to come out of it. Technically, yeah, that's the easiest way. I guess for now I'll just take these 2 screws out. I'm going to loosen the bottom ones here. You know what, I'm just going to take it off, because I guarantee if I don't, bad things will happen, because I'm taking shortcuts Don't want to do that. So, I remember how fun these were to put on too, with these little spacers, so should be fun putting them back. Okay. All right. Just gonna set this together back here. All right, got those 3 screws removed. And that just pulls right off. All right, so there's a side panel here. I'm gonna kind of just pull this out. Try not to scratch it on the brake pedal. And that's out. Okay. Trying my smaller panel tool, that works pretty well actually, to kind of pull this apart here. And looks like that worked pretty well. So that's completely apart. There's the bottom. There's the top. All right. Hopefully we can see. I'm trying to see how this thing is aimed. There's a plug right in here. All right. So now we have this plug, and we need to pry this protective, this keeper out of here without breaking anything. I'm using the panel tool because it's plastic. It's just one less thing to break. So I'm pretty sure this whole thing does come out. There we go. Kind of just had to, oops. All right, cool. We're good. Still in one piece. So what it looks like is there's just a couple pins we need.
These 3 right here are what we're going to be utilizing. Alright, once we get our plug at Raptor isolated, I have the 3 pins lined up. Black, white, and brown. And we're just going to slide those in slots 3, 4, and 5 all at once. The easiest way to do it, at least for me.
Alright, we're going to go to the other side. This is my dog's seat. All right. This is fully connected to this and not anything else. I might leave that on there, guys. The only thing I'm going to take off is the fire extinguisher. I'm going to leave this side attached because it'll be easier. Yeah, got my knife there. This wire. I got some slack in it. I think I can pull that off, literally. So this should work. So I know one of the first steps is to remove the switch panel that comes with these Raptors. I've had this out a bunch. It's kind of cool how they do this. This just pops right off. And then just a few plugs here. And it pops right out. And these aren't overly difficult like some can be. Needs cleaned anyway. There you have it. There's the aux panel, aux switch panel. And from what I remember, you kind of just pull up on this guy like that. And then this knife might need to come off first, just to make my life a little easier. We'll do that. Okay. You just never know when you need a knife off-roading with a Raptor, you know? Just never know. Okay. So, switch kind of lifts up forward. Try not to scratch everything like I'm probably doing. What's up, guys? So, I owe you a little bit of an apology. I could not finish this install. I actually ran into some issues, and totally on my own fault. I had some issues with the wiring here underneath the one part of the video where you see me messing with the plug in here. I'm actually going to redo that as well, and Luke was nice enough to, he does in that kit and give you extra pin connectors in case you screw things up like I did. So what I'll say and what I've learned from this, and some things, maybe some pitfalls to watch out for, are, you know, be careful when you're messing with these little pins, because there's not much room for error with these. These are wiring harness pins that, you know, are all over the truck, and they're very fragile. So I, for whatever reason, was struggling with these in particular, and so much that I just stopped recording. I got a little frustrated, and I didn't even show you in here how I did the wiring. I thought I got that, but I guess I didn't. So I do apologize. This was never really just a how-to video. It was more of a my experience video. So hopefully I'm capturing that for you. But the wiring in here was completely flawless, no issues. That went smoothly. They all basically 3 wires in here, and actually I'll link you guys to Luke's video so you can actually see what he tells you to do there. It's very straightforward, and it's exactly what I did. What I ran into again was just those pins are super fragile, and I was breaking them trying to force them in. I was actually breaking the wires, and I didn't have a barrel connector, I'm sorry, a barrel crimper to crimp those pins back on. So when I would break a pin or a wire, I would kind of have to use tiny needle nose pliers to get that crimped on there, and that's really not the right way to do it. So I've learned from that. I've ordered the right tools, and we're gonna redo the ones in here just for longevity, make sure they work for a long time. But honestly, everything worked great. There was no issues with this kit. You know, the paddles work great. I just used it on my off-road trip, and you can actually check that out in my other videos in the Raptor playlist. There's a pretty long video on the Roush Creek event that we just did, and it was awesome. And the paddles were honestly a lifesaver, because this truck, anytime it hits 4th gear, anytime it downshifts to 4th gear from 5th or 6th, it's not fun. It's not pretty. There's some issues, I think, with the valve body, and I'm going to look into that as well. Hopefully soon, fix that. But until then, I was manually shifting this thing off-road, and being able to kind of use these and not have to use this to do that was just amazing. Predominantly off-road. I'm not going super crazy, so I'm using like 2nd, 3rd gear, and it was great to just be able to go back and forth between them, getting up, ready to hit a corner hard. You downshift to 2nd or 1st, barrel into the corner. It was nice to have the paddles right here. So here's my thoughts. Do I regret this mod? Absolutely not. I regret not doing it sooner. I'm glad I did it. It was crazy timing that I just happened to have some transmission issues there. Probably also my fault, but you know what? Part of working on vehicles is learning, and you're not going to learn unless you make mistakes. I'll show you guys, back here. I still don't have the tailgate put on yet. I left that off. Got my axe, got my quick release fire extinguisher, my shovel, my dual spares. Hopefully the light's not blinding the camera, but got my traction racks there, or traction, not sure why I can't think of the name of these right now, but those things. Yeah, and then in there is actually my tire inflator, my air compressor. All right, guys, thanks for sticking with me. this didn't turn out how I, you know, wanted to, but that's a lesson in itself. Nothing does, especially when you're working on vehicles, nothing ends up how you want it to. So that being said, like, subscribe. I am growing. We are getting some huge success in this channel. I really look forward to getting better and giving you guys even better content as much as possible with all of the fun vehicles and all, just, you know, maybe we'll get the dogs in there, we'll get a bunch of other fun things perhaps. You know, my goal is just to document things better and just give you guys better content. And honestly, if I can help somebody figure something out with a Raptor, with a Camaro, with a motorcycle, that's worth it. It's worth it for me, because I've had so many people help me along the way. So I really appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, coming at you.